He is currently being investigated right now by the government. We've seen that he's what's the proper phrase with him? He was not being investigated. Subpoenaed, yes. But they're looking to investigate his relationship with Cuba here. Rev, I'm sure you talked about this on your channel a little bit.
Yep.
Did you see?
We used to pray for this.
Well, he clearly didn't think anything was going to happen. Case in point, this video right here. Have you seen this little clip from an old podcast that he did talking about
Unfortunately, I'm sure I have at some point.
Take a look at this.
I want to go to Cuba. Would you be down?
I fucking love Cuba.
Oh, yeah? You'd be down?
Yeah, I filmed a documentary there once.
The Cuban government actually hit my contact from the embassy and told him that if the only thing stopping us from coming to Cuba was the consistent internet access, we can make it happen.
Yeah, Cuba is sick.
Wait, the government reached out to you?
So yeah, of course. It's well, not reached out to me. There's there's a middleman there. Because I had a doctor from Cuba. Cuba does this thing called medical missions, and they've been doing it since.
You see what's going on here. He was reached out, or he had Cuba reach out to him through an intermediary, a third party right here, about his trip to Cuba. And he probably should not have admitted that to having direct coordination with the Cuban government because of its hands, with the potential investigation that's being happened right here. This is kind of a smoking gun when it comes to this. Rev Straub and Phoenix, y'all's thoughts?
I don't know if it can tie into what he's being subpoenaed for. I don't know if something from the past can be, but again, this probably all ties. This is evident, it appears. It could at least point to that there is. I think there's a reason why they got him. And I think when you see little snippets of this, it is just to the front-facing audience. You're seeing little pieces of what I'm sure the government is seeing that they know from behind the scenes. So I think this is just more evidence that he probably did. He probably does. I don't know if you could tie the two together, but I think it's been pretty clear that there's something going on.
Rev?
No, I mean, I think he's in a pretty tough spot. Do I think he's going to go to jail over this? I don't really know. But I think there's breadcrumbs all over the place. There's a clip of him recently saying he's happy to see people selected based on their political views and targeted by the government. And now he's saying, oh, everyone, please stand by me if you care about free speech and all this stuff. It's like, no, we're not going to accept that. But when it comes to his trip, I mean, everyone knows what happened. He went there and there was the blackouts and he had full electricity while people were literally dying because their ventilators weren't being powered. Like, it's just a mess. And he actually seems pretty nervous about this. Like, I will say that it's not sensationalizing anything. He does seem pretty nervous about this. So where this goes, we'll have to see. But clips like that, like, I have not seen that. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, honestly.
Well, I asked Rock why the clip hurts him. And it says, in the podcast clip, Hasan casually describes the Cuban government reaching out through a doctor in their international medical missions program to set up a visit and even provide consistent internet. And this sounds like direct government facilitation, acknowledging a middleman tied to a major Cuban state program and bragging about special access and arrangements, which undercuts claims of purely independent humanitarian work. Because remember, that's what they were saying. We're going to go drop off medicine over here. We're doing this on our own. Well, it doesn't really sound like that. And the reason why, there's current U.S.-Cuban sanctions here, and it says the U.S. maintains strict sanctions that generally prohibit U.S. persons from engaging in most financial transactions, trade, or dealings with the Cuban government or its entities. So if he's saying that the Cuban government is directly reaching out, that violates the sanctions between the U.S. and Cuba right there. Do I think anything bad will happen from this? Do I think he'll end up in jail? Probably not. No. I think he'll probably get some sort of slap on the wrist. We were talking yesterday about how there's potentially 10 years for every violation. If he's found guilty, I think we're all smart enough to realize that nothing's probably going to come of this. But I'm with you, Rev. He definitely sounds nervous when it comes to this, and probably should be. It's whether it's a scare tactic or not. It does sound like I'm with Phoenix on this. At least it sounds like the government's not fucking around.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be great though if he did? Wouldn't that be like that's a show I can't wait to do if that was the case?
Oh man,
If he actually went to prison, I mean, think of that thumbnail.
Do you think that could actually happen, though? I mean, like, I guess anything could happen, but, like, you know, people always say, like, nothing ever happens. Like, I don't know why. Every time I hear something like this, like, I just kind of am like, probably nothing's going to happen.
Technically it could. It's just a matter, like, do they want to do this? Is this really, like, I don't know.
Well, I think the thing that most people are, the critics you see online, you mentioned this earlier, Rev, the idea that he's saying if you care about free speech, this has nothing to do with free speech. Like zero to do with free speech, but it's being attacked under the guise of they're attacking free speech. This has nothing to do with free speech. You can say whatever you want. You just can't work with the Cuban government to get you there. And you know, we spoke about this briefly yesterday. They wouldn't have done this if they didn't think that there was something there. I think if there's some smoke, there's some fire, there will be fire. But whether something is done about that fire, you know, who knows, right? I think everybody would legitimately be shocked if he was sentenced to jail. And I don't think it's going to be for a decade. I don't think it's going to be, you know, for life in prison. If he does go to jail, it'll be, you know, for 5 days and a slap on the wrist, and he'll get probation or something like that. And if they do put him in jail, I think that's the worst thing that they could do, honestly, especially if it's like a small amount of time. I was put in jail, whatever. Like, if they're going to put him in jail, he's got to be thrown in like federal fucking prison and never given a chance to get out.
Yeah, I actually think if he's going to jail, it's not going to be for 5 days. I think you're looking
be
5 years minimum. If he's going, I don't think he's going to, but I would think no, they're gonna put him away if that's the case.
I mean, yeah, this
imagine?
involves the federal government. Like, they're not going to send him to a local jail for a weekend. It would be years, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
A boy can dream, right?
Oh, it would be orgasmic. That would be one of the greatest days of all time. To see that monumental piece of commie shit actually go to jail. Or honestly, just send him to China. Let him actually just live in a commie country. That's probably the worst punishment you could ever do.
I saw a video yesterday of, God, I love those videos where people they reach out to people, or they're in the streets and they're talking to people about how horrible the United States is. You got all these, like, you know, white liberals at like Harvard. They're like, oh, the U.S. is a fascist government, whatever. And in this video, this guy goes, well, I have a one-way ticket for you to go to Cuba right now, or you can go to wherever you want to go, but you just can't come back to the United States. And every single one of them's like, well, you know, it's really, you know, not that bad. And I have family here, and, you know, and zero people take it. You know,
like, how great would you be? Like, would you be? I think everyone here would. Like, if there was taxes, you had to pay extra for taxes every year, but that was for a fund to take white liberal idiots and boot them from the country permanently. And if they're come back, they're executed on the spot. I would sign up for that easily and watch that. Oh my God. And none of them, not one of them would take it.
That'd be so freaking funny. If instead of wasting money on leering centers and all that stuff, they just decided to use some of that money for plane tickets out of the country and revoking your citizenship. Oh, that's brilliant. Wow,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. Could you, like,
We could fast track it because we could, you know, we get good immigrants coming in here. It's a nice swap. Those that actually want to be in the country and work hard, great. We'll swap them for these white, useless commie idiots. Great.
that may be the most brilliant thing you've ever said on the show, Phoenix.
Thank you.
And I think you should definitely reach out to a member of Congress to see if they can fast track that. That'd be so good. That'd be so good. Hit that subscribe button right here and watch another video right here.